Have you ever inherited something that wasn't meant to be yours? Not money, not land, but a sin. See, some things don't die with the people who carried them. Some things wait. And when they come back, they don't knock politely. They come to collect. Now let me tell y'all something. I thought I knew my family. I really did. My name is Grace, and by the time this story happened, I was already in my late 40s. Had my little house, my peace, my Sunday routine. You know. Church in the morning, tea in the evening, minding my business like a grown woman should. And at the center of my world? My grandmother. Miss Evelyn. Oh, she was something else. Strong. Sharp. The kind of woman who could look at you one time and tell you everything you needed to fix in your life. Everybody respected her. Feared her a little too, if we being honest. But here's the thing. She never talked about her past. Not really. If you asked about back in the day, she'd just wave her hand like it wasn't important. Anne. I should have known then. We had this family house, old, creaky, sitting on the edge of town like it had secrets in its walls. That house had been in our family for generations. Passed down like a crown nobody questioned. And when Grandma got sick, she called me over. I remember it like it was yesterday. She was sitting in her chair, wrapped in that same blue shawl she always wore. Grace, she said, voice low, serious. After I'm gone, that house is yours. Now I blinked. Mine? She nodded slow. But listen to me. Some doors, don't you go opening. Now what kind of thing is that to tell somebody? I laughed it off back then. Thought she was just being dramatic. But, looking back, the signs were all there. Grandma passed 2 weeks later. Peacefully. Quiet. And just like that, the house became mine. Now, I ain't gonna lie. Stepping into that place alone for the first time, it felt heavy. Not scary exactly, just like the air knew something I didn't. But I brushed it off. Started cleaning, organizing, trying to make it mine. That's when I found it. A locked door. Back hallway. End of the house. No key anywhere. Now tell me why my heart started beating fast for no reason. I stood there staring at it, and I heard her voice in my head. Some doors, don't you go opening. Anne. I should have listened. But curiosity? Oh, it'll get you every time. So I called a locksmith. And when that door finally clicked open, that's when everything changed. Inside the room. The room was small, dusty, untouched. But it wasn't empty. There were boxes. Old ones. Sealed tight like they weren't meant for eyes. And right there on top of the first box. A name. Not ours. Lena Carter. Now I frowned. Carter? That ain't no name in my family tree. But something told me. This mattered. I opened the box. Inside? Letters. Stacks of them. All addressed to my grandmother. All from the same person. Lena. At first, they seemed normal. Friendly. Familiar. But the more I read, the darker they got. You promised me, Evelyn. You said we'd fix this. You can't just take her. Take, who? My hand started shaking. And then I saw the last letter. The ink was messy. Angry. If anything happens to me, you know what you did. And God gone, see it too. That's when I felt it. That cold feeling crawling up my spine. Because now, this wasn't just old history. This was something buried. I couldn't sleep that night. Kept hearing things. Soft creaks. Footsteps where nobody should be. And I kept thinking about that name. Lena Carter. So the next day, I went digging. Records. Old town archives. Anything I could find. And baby. What I found made my stomach drop. Back in 1972, there was a missing person case. A woman. Name? Lena Carter. Last seen, near my grandmother's house. Never found. Case went cold. Now tell me something. Why would a missing woman be writing letters to my grandmother? And why was Grandma hiding them? Unless she knew exactly what happened. That night, it happened. I woke up to a sound. Knocking. Slow. Steady. Coming from that room. Now I froze. Because I knew. Ain't nobody supposed to be in there. But the knocking didn't stop. Tap, tap, tap. Like somebody was trying to get out. Every part of me said run. But something else, something deeper, told me to go. So I walked down that hallway. Heart pounding so loud I thought it might burst. And when I reached that door, it was already open. Inside, everything looked the same. Except one box was on the floor. Opened. And inside it was something I hadn't seen before. A photograph. I picked it up, hands trembling. Anne. I swear my breath left my body. It was my grandmother. Younger. Standing next to a woman. Smiling. Arm around her like family. And written on the back. Me and Lena. Sisters forever. Sisters. That's when it hit me. That missing woman. She wasn't a stranger. She was family. And the letters? They weren't random. They were desperate. You promised we'd raise her together. You can't just take my baby. My baby. That's when the truth came crashing down. My grandmother didn't just hide a secret. She stole a life. That family house. That inheritance. It wasn't rightfully ours. Because somewhere in that story, a child had been taken and raised as one of us. I went through every record again. Every birth certificate. Every name. And that's when I saw it. A gap. A lie. My mother's records didn't match. Dates didn't line up. And baby. That's when I realized. The child Lena was talking about. The one Grandma took. That child was my mother. Which means everything I thought was mine, everything I believed about my bloodline, was built on a lie. After that night, the knocking stopped. The room stayed quiet. But me? I ain't been the same since. Because now I understand something. You don't just inherit blessings. Sometimes you inherit debts. And baby, they always come due. So let me leave y'all with this. Be careful what's buried in your family's past. Because silence, it ain't protection. It's a ticking clock. And one day, whether you're ready or not, the truth, it gon' find its way home. And when it does, you better decide. Are you gonna keep the lie alive? Or finally set the truth free?